Okay, we should be live. Welcome into the live stream, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Be sure to let me know where you are tuning in from in the live chat. We are going to get straight into our severe weather coverage. We do not have any tornado warnings at the moment, just some severe thunderstorm warnings. I want to start off with this storm near Memphis, Texas. So we've got a severe thunderstorm warning on this for a tornado possible, 1.5-inch hail that's ping pong ball size and 60-mile-per-hour winds. These severe warnings are in effect for another 27 and 42 minutes. So right now we've got some ping pong ball sized hail going through Memphis, Texas, and some broad rotation as well. So they have highlighted the tornado possible tag for this area. So that's the main storm that I am keeping an eye on right now. Once again, no tornado warnings at the moment. We'll go over to this severe thunderstorm warning. This one is west of Elk City, Oklahoma. Let's see. So this one's got some half-dollar sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds with it right now. If we go ahead and take a look at our velocities, not really noting any areas of rotation, so not too big of a concern in terms of tornadic potential with that storm. Right now, mainly keep an eye on these storms we had pop up about an hour or so ago, a little bit longer than that, near Memphis, Texas now. So if you are in Memphis, Texas, or east of Headley, west of Wellington, seek shelter now inside a sturdy structure. Get away from windows. You've got some ping pong ball sized hail coming down that can break your windows and cause some injury to you. So be sure you are getting indoors. And if you have time, bring those vehicles in. Don't want to get any hail dents or damaged windshields, but if it is already hailing, just head inside. It's a bit too late. The storm isn't producing too much lightning. Within the last 5 minutes, looks like we have one, I don't know what that was. We've had 1, 2, 3 lightning strikes picked up by radar. So once again, our main concern with this storm at the moment is the ping pong ball sized hail and then the 60-mile-an-hour winds. So secure any loose objects you may have outdoors. Welcome into the chat, Lisa. Good to see you. We've still got you and Alan on the dono board from some of our previous streams. I haven't reset it in a month or so, so we're just keeping that. So it looks like our hail core is continuing. Right now we've got about a max of 67 dBz is how high I saw. 65, 65, 64, 64. Yeah, so about ping pong ball sized hail as stated on that warning from the National Weather Service in, which office is this? Will not let me view the warning. There we go. Amarillo. Okay. And that expires, that severe thunderstorm warning for Wellington, Headley, and Quail, Texas. That expires at 8:30 p.m. So that one's in effect for a while. This one down here for Memphis, Lakeview, north of Esteline. That one from the National Weather Service in Lubbock expires at 8:15 p.m. So 24 minutes left with that one. And it looks like our storms out here near Eric, west of Sayre, south of Sweetwater, are picking up on hail activity. This is currently warned for half-dollar sized hail, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see that upgrade to around ping pong ball sized hail. Just to note for you guys, I think what I'm going to start doing is we'll reset the dono board at the end of every month. This one started sometime in February, so at the end of March, on the last day of March, March 31st, I'll reset it for April, and then every month it's going to reset, so that's going to be the new system. This one's already about a month old, so we'll just keep it going. Once again, all donations are completely optional, but greatly appreciated. They help out the channel a lot. They go right back into the channel, whether it's buying an anemometer, a gimbal. We bought an iPad last year to use as a second monitor on days where we need it. Probably won't need that today. I'm not on the computer that connects to that right now, but on days where we need it, we can have it. One thing I do want to note right now is southwest of Fairview, Oklahoma, this storm is producing some pretty large hail. It's warned for $half size, which I would agree with. Maybe we'll see an upgrade here shortly, but it is producing a lot of lightning. So if you're west of Fairview, Oklahoma, and you're Sealing or south of, southwest of Cleo Springs, you guys should seek shelter inside a sturdy structure when thunder roars, get indoors, and also get away from windows for that hail. So once again, get inside a sturdy structure. Other than that, there's not too much to talk about at the moment. Once again, no tornado warnings. We've had no tornadoes today. We have an enhanced risk. I do want to talk to you guys, just because we haven't too much, about the new SPC updates. First of all, I would like to note that I actually think this graphic looks very clean. I've been on and off with how I feel about the update, but I've come to the conclusion that it's for the best, and I actually do like it. We have a very small 10% hatch tornado risk, and you may know that we used to only have this hatched intensity, but we could have a 5% or a 2% with a level 3 intensity. But if we have a level 3, it'll probably be somewhere in this area. But right now, we have a level 1 hatched, and that goes out for portions of western and central Oklahoma, along with the Texas Panhandle. So that hatch includes a very small portion of the southern part of our 2%, and then the northern part. Once again, they've always had the hatching. It's just we have the 3 tiers now, which I think is good, because people used to assume high risk means violent tornadoes, but now it's more the hatched risk that gives you that idea. We got Lisa in the chat with the $25 dono. Huge shout out to Lisa. Thank you so much for your support. Let me get that updated. I can see why you said sorry, Alan, now. What we'll do is we'll copy this. Once again, Big Goat, probably top donor of the channel, so thank you for all your support. Everybody, let's get 25 W Lisas in the chat. So there we go. Dono board has been updated. Once again, be sure to drop where you are tuning in from in chat. Let me know. And if you have any questions for your location, I am happy to answer, especially if you are in any of these areas. So, new special weather statement for areas northwest of Memphis, Texas, where we have that $half sized hail, or excuse me, ping pong ball sized hail. So this special weather statement includes Clarendon, Headley, Lelia Lake, not sure how to say that. So max wind 55 miles an hour, max hail 0.88 of an inch, so almost an inch. And then once again, that wind, I'm not sure why it says it twice. And that is radar indicated. So this is in effect through 8:30 p.m. Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Bryce, or 12 miles south of Clarendon, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. Hazard wind gusts of 50 to 55 miles per hour in nickel-sized hail. So that is a radar indicated threat. Locations impacted include Clarendon, Headley, and Lelia Lake. So if outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside a building. And remember, a tornado watch is in effect for this area through midnight. So that includes the Panhandle of Texas along with southwest Oklahoma. We'll get that tornado watch outline pulled up. I don't have that overlay on Radar Omega right now, but we can get that on the SPC website. So here we are. There's our counties included. So that is areas north of Lubbock, south of Amarillo. Childress, Texas is included in that, along with Altus. I think that's Hobart, Clinton, Gage, Woodward is included in this watch. So areas west of Oklahoma City, east of Lubbock and Amarillo. All of our hazards with this are moderate. So tornadoes moderate, EF2 plus tornadoes moderate, severe wind moderate, 65 plus knots wind moderate, severe hail high, and 2+ inch hail is moderate. So this is our only threat that is above the moderate risk. But even just with all of that, moderate risk for all of those, not the most common. It's a 60/40 watch, so it is a higher end tornado watch. And these are our current warnings. So you can see at the top, it says severe thunderstorm warnings are shaded in blue, tornado warnings are shaded in red, flood warnings are shaded in green. So right now we just have severe thunderstorm warnings with these storms. And there's your mesoscale discussion that was issued for that. So we'll actually go over this because this is useful. Developing thunderstorms will pose a risk for all severe hazards across that area over the next few hours. And then on this, before the tornado watch was issued, this was issued about 2 hours before. Most probable peak intensity 120 to 150 mile per hour for tornadoes. So that's up to a mid-range EF3 is what is currently estimated for peak intensity. 65 to 80 mile an hour winds and ping pong ball to tennis ball sized hail. So 1.5 to 2.5 inch hail. And I can see the heat is on. We have Alan with the $25 dono. W. Alan in the chat. I've got to reverse this again. Put that up. Put Alan up there. Then Lisa back in second. Hello, Evan. Welcome into the stream. I hope you are doing well. Once again, huge shout out to Alan. W for Alan and Lisa. Let's get 25 W's for each of them in the chat. Greatly appreciate you guys. All of that goes right back into the channel and the Summit Fund. So I actually have a document where I'm keeping track of all donations. So until I meet the amount needed for Summit 2027 tickets, I will be putting all the money that we get towards that. So on February 14th, Alan and Lisa with the $25 dono, and then on the 17th, Alan with the $20. All of that is going to our Summit tickets unless I, for some reason, cannot go. And even then, it will still go back into the channel in some other way. So paying for a Radar Omega subscription, will probably be purchasing a Weatherfront subscription. I've got a Radar Scope subscription. So it all goes back into the channel in some way. I bought a gimbal about a month ago, so that helps stabilize the phone for when I'm videoing storms. I use that at the Summit as well. So once again, huge shout out to you guys. And that is always completely optional, greatly appreciated. But getting back to these storms, this one down southwest of Lakeview, Texas now has a severe thunderstorm warning on it. It is riding behind these two up near Memphis, Texas. This one isn't impacting too many locations. Looks like Caprock Canyon State Park, Bryson, Lakeview. So our max wind is 60 miles an hour. Our max hail 1 inch, source radar indicated. You have a friend in Hutchinson, Kansas near Wichita. Is he expecting anything? Well, if we look at our outlook, that is a good question, Evan. Wichita is under that level 2 out of 5 slight risk. For tornado, they are in a 2% non-hatched. For wind, they've got a 15% hatched. And then hail, they are right there in that 15% non-hatched. So looks like he could face some severe storms tonight. If we pull up, I will look at models on my phone on Weatherfront. Can't wait until Weatherfront makes a debut on desktop, because if you guys don't know about the Weatherfront app, it is awesome. You can look at so many models and radar for free, and it's even better if you get a subscription. But right now it is only available on iOS, so it should be coming soon to Android, and then I'd imagine Windows and eventually Mac. But the HRRR at the 0Z has some sub-severe storms rolling through there through 10 p.m. And then the potential for some lower-end severe storms is around midnight to 2 a.m. for Wichita. So for Hutchinson, I'm not sure where Hutchinson is. Let me look We'll be a bit more precise here. Okay, so that's northwest of Wichita. Yeah, they will face the most potential for some potentially severe storms from 12 to 2 a.m. Not looking at a super big tornado threat for them, though. But definitely be prepared to seek shelter and have ways to receive weather alerts. That is always a good idea when you are in a severe risk. For anybody who does not have a good way to receive weather alerts for their area, I recommend investing in I should say, NOAA weather radio. I have one. It's right beside me right now. It's not powered on, but I've had it about 3 years. It's the WR120. They're relatively cheap, and you can put batteries in them for if the power goes out as a backup. They can be plugged into an outlet, so they're absolutely great. You can program them for multiple locations, so I've got mine set to alert me with the loud beeping noise if it's my county or the county west of me, and then all the counties surrounding mine, it'll get alerts for. Smartphones are always good to have too, but sometimes those wireless emergency alerts aren't the most reliable. For example, if you enter a polygon, like if you're driving, but the tornado warning has already been issued and you drive into it, your phone will not go off. You have to be in that polygon area when it is issued, and sometimes it's based off your cell tower. So if you're in the morning but your cell tower it may not go through, but the weather radios are based off of a county. TVs, I always say, aren't the greatest just because if the power goes out, but I guess if you have a generator, but yes, the NOAA weather radios are the best. Let's actually look. We're going to go to Amazon really quick to look and see what they have for weather radios. I'll show you the one I have. WR120 NOAA weather radio. Once again, not affiliated, not sponsored, just a great product. I'm going to hide all this stuff for just a second so you all can see. This is the one I have right here. It looks like it's gone up in price a bit, but it is 100% worth it. So Lisa, I would highly recommend getting one. I have this one, the WR120B. There's some super premium versions like this one. This will get the job done. Last time I went chasing, my only time I went on a full chase back in August, there were no tornado warnings, but we were in a severe warning for 3-inch hail. That went off on my phone, but it was delayed. So I will be bringing this along in the car next time because I forgot it at home. I can throw some batteries in there. And actually, for my birthday, which is coming up in 2 weeks or so, I actually asked for the vintage version of that, which is the WR100 rather than the WR120. So this is from the 2000s. This one right here, you can see how it's kind of a different shape rather than that one, because this is the only one I have right now, and I think it would be cool to collect. Yeah, this is the most common one, Lisa, that you'll see nowadays, so I recommend that one. There's also some walkie-talkies. I have a Midland walkie-talkie. Not sure what that's about, but I have a Midland walkie-talkie that can be tuned to the weather radio station, but it won't start beeping if you're in a warning. You have to tune in to the station and turn on the listening, because with these, you don't always have to hear it, but you can set it to beep if you're in a warning. Looks like we've got this red. Ooh, tornado warning. Okay, so we now have a tornado warning in Oklahoma near Fairview, Cleo Springs, Oklahoma. So Cleo Springs, you guys are in this tornado warning polygon. So you can see that rotation is just a little bit northwest of Longdale, Oklahoma. So if you guys are west of Fairview or in Cleo Springs, seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. Max hail size with this storm is 1.25 inch, so $half size. Radar indicated rotation. This is Cleo Springs, Orion, and Orienta, Oklahoma. And if you're west of Fairview, also seek shelter. This is southeastern Woods County in northwestern Oklahoma and central Major County until 8:45 p.m. So 2 minutes ago at 8:05 p.m. Central Standard Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 4 miles southeast of Orion, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Hazard tornado and half-dollar sized hail. Radar indicated rotation. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. All of that typical wording with a radar indicated tornado warning. So we have no tornado confirmed on the ground right now. But if you are in that area, seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. If you do not have a basement or storm shelter, that means you want to get in the interior-most room on the lowest floor to put as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. I heard somebody on the Weather Channel say that once. Not sure who does the as many walls between you and the outside world as possible quote, but I like it. So once again, Cleo Springs, Oklahoma, west of Fairview, you guys need to seek shelter now, and Orion, Oklahoma, on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. This tornado warning is in effect for another 38 minutes. Oh, that was weird. It said unknown warning for a second. I've never seen that. We'll get our overlay back on. You guys may notice that we bounce between two computers sometimes. My computer is a Mac, but it's a couple years old, and it does all right with some things. But sometimes I prefer to stream on the Windows just because it lets you do backgrounds on the text with this, and sometimes it runs better. But if I ever need a second display, I use the Mac because that's what the iPad connects to. So you may notice that we're on two different computers sometimes. There we are. Also, if I'm ever on the go, this computer, this Windows computer, the battery life lasts about 15 minutes, so we use the Mac for that. I also prefer Mac overall. But that's besides the point. So once again, if you're west of Fairview, Oklahoma, in Cleo Springs or Orion, you guys need to seek shelter now. We do have some pretty tight rotation in there, you can see. So seek shelter now. Oh, it's reloading. Also, I do plan to be setting up a face cam soon now that I have that set up with the gimbal, because that also acts as a tripod. So I can connect my phone to the computer for a webcam, because the built-in webcam on the computer is really low quality, and I want to make sure we have a high quality overlay. So my vision for that is to have we'll get rid of the outlook for each day and have a tornado watch or whatever we have up there, but then the face cam will be in the bottom left. So that's my current plan. Let me know what you think of that in the live chat. Once again, huge shout out to Lisa and Alan with the $25 donos. Huge W to them and the chat. We are going to change the live stream title, so give me just a minute to do that. Once again, west of Fairview, Oklahoma, you guys are the ones that need to be in your safe spot right now. This rotation is approaching you anywhere right in here. Get to your safe spot now. You've got to run, not walk. But then in Cleo Springs, you guys should be ready to be there within the next 10 minutes. Okay. Getting that title changed. Okay, stream title has been updated. You all should see that change now. But once again, west of Fairview, Oklahoma, you guys need to seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. It does appear that our rotation is continuing to strengthen. Would not be surprised if we saw a tornado touchdown with this. It updated for you, awesome. We have got 5 people in here and 8 likes, so if you have not already, please be sure to like the stream. It is greatly appreciated. We've got a lot of chasers out tonight. There's a couple that we have permission to use their live feed, but I haven't quite got that set up. I know the PA Storm Trackers are out, so be sure to go check them out. Looks like Papa John is live, Mr. John McKinney, and I think Freddie is as well. Let's see. Freddie is not live. Could have sworn he was out. Maybe we'll raid Papa John. Not sure what keeps happening, but I noticed that the polygons disappear for a second. Down the line, though, after this rotation moves through Cleo Springs, if we did have a tornado touchdown, it would be going probably west of Cleo Springs, west of Helena. So you guys up in Align, Helena, west of Goldtree, be ready to seek shelter. You're not under a tornado warning yet. But once again, west of Fairview, Oklahoma is the main spot where you guys need to be in your safe spot, or in Orion, and then soon down the road in West Cleo and Cleo Springs, or east of Cheyenne Valley. Looks like it's actually Orienta, not Orient, but it was cut out. Oh, Orion and Orienta. I did not notice that. I thought it was cut off earlier. Wow, that rotation does appear to be tightening even more though, so get into your safe spot if you are in that tornado warning polygon. $10 likes. Thank you to those of you who like the stream and are even just watching. That is still a radar indicated tornado warning. Once again, that rotation is pretty much due west of Fairview, Oklahoma. So west of Fairview, you guys get into your safe spot. I did not realize that was on, blocking part of our screen. My apologies for that. That was the mesoscale discussion from earlier that I had up before the tornado watch. That is fixed now. Once again, if you have any questions for your location, feel free to drop them in the live chat. Be sure to let me know where you are tuning in from. Our main area of concern is this tornado warning polygon, which goes out for southeastern Woods and central Major County. So if you're in southeastern Woods or central Major County in western Oklahoma, I guess that's northwestern Oklahoma. Anyway, seek shelter down the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. If you do not have the basement or storm shelter, you're going to want to get into the interior-most part of the building on the lowest floor, so away from windows. And yeah, I would go ahead and say that this is probably a tornado on the ground, so we're going to treat it like so. How do I feel about the outlook for tomorrow? Has it diminished for Iowa? That is a good question. Let's have a look. So once again, here's today for anybody who hasn't seen it. But tomorrow, Iowa. So the southern 2/3 of Iowa are in a level 2 out of 5 slight risk. So areas like Des Moines is in that 5 hatch tornado risk. Omaha is in that 2%. Part of Omaha is in that 2% hatched. And then wind and hail. So southern 2/3 of Iowa, that includes Des Moines and eastern Iowa, you guys are looking at the potential for a few tornadoes with the isolated potential for a strong one, some damaging winds, potentially a little above 80 miles an hour, and then hail up to 3 inches possible. The main threat, though, still remains down there in western Missouri, eastern Kansas, eastern Oklahoma, western Arkansas. If I'm being honest with you all, this enhanced risk, the orange, kind of reminds me of the shape of the April 26th outlook in a way. They're not identical, but if you look at the outlook, the day one for the tornado, there it is. I don't know if it's just me or they kind of resemble each other. Like that one, this is April 26, 2024. It was a bit skinnier, but they do look similar. This one was more elongated. It went up to the northern part of the Missouri right there, all the way down through portions of central Texas. I don't know. I just noticed that earlier when I first saw it. And then we have a marginal for much of central Texas, and then another slight risk. This is separate from the main one tomorrow for Abilene, areas east of Fort Stockton. That's for hail. Do want to get back to radar, though. We are monitoring this situation closely with our tornado warning. Once again, very strong rotation. Would not be shocked if we have a tornado on the ground right now. It is still a radar indicated tornado warning, though. Correlation coefficient has a debris signature. Let's take a look. It's so hard to tell with all of that. We have a lot of contamination in there. So, no, I would not say that we necessarily have a debris signature on CC. So I would go ahead and rule that as false in my opinion. Once again, though, this rotation is now pretty much directly west of Fairview, Oklahoma by about 7 or 8 miles. So west of Fairview, Oklahoma, directly north of Dane or Cedar Springs, you guys need to be in your safe spot. Still a radar indicated tornado warning. For the best experience with this live stream, hit the settings icon, then quality, and do 720p 60 or 1080p 60. Everything's most readable on 1080p. 720p is great though too, but you will struggle to read some of the smaller text if you are on 480p or below. So this rotation, the next population center that this is going to be approaching is Orienta, and then it's going to go west to Cleo Springs. It's directly south of Cheyenne Valley, Oklahoma right now. So if you are in this red tornado warning polygon, you need to be in your safe spot, unless you are down here in this whole area that I'm circling in white, because the rotation has moved past you guys. We have 12 likes this stream, so thank you to those of you who are in here supporting the channel, supporting the stream. Even if you're just watching, if you're not subscribed or liking the stream or anything, just watching helps out. Happy to be here, happy to help. I'm here to answer questions and give you guys severe weather coverage. Once again, a tornado warning is still in effect for southeastern Woods and central Major County in northwest Oklahoma. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It says unknown warning. Yeah, it looks like those velocities, in my opinion, continuing to maintain strength if not tightening, so could see a tornado on the ground very shortly, potentially. Once again, we're keeping an eye on this very closely. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask in the live chat. Just make sure you are being respectful and not purposefully spreading misinformation in there. But we all make mistakes. Yeah, this rotation is now just west of Fairview, Oklahoma by about 5.5 or 6 miles. So they're getting lucky that that is going away from them. Definitely lucky over there in Fairview. That whole area where you guys see those reds and greens coming together near those yellows and blues, that is where our rotation is. So right in there is our tightest pocket. That's what I'm keeping an eye on. Looks like the rotation is still continuing with this scan. So stay in your safe spot west of Fairview in Oklahoma. The storm is also producing quite the lightning, so when thunder roars, get indoors, even if you are not in that tornado warning polygon. All those strikes are within the past. I believe I have it set to 5 minutes. Let's check real quick. Yeah, those are within the past 5 minutes. And if we look for the past minute, those will take a second to load, but yeah, I'm not sure if it'll come up. There we go. All those lightning strikes within the past minute. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all with that storm. We have gained 2 subscribers this stream. That means we went from 1,858 to 1,860. So thank you all so much for 1,860 subscribers. I really appreciate it. More than I can express to you guys. We are now 140 away from 2,000. That's the next big milestone after 1,500. Because we had 1,000 and then 1,500. Now coming up is 2,000. The big 2,000. So this rotation is now approaching areas east of Cheyenne Valley and just a little bit west of Oriena, Oklahoma. So you guys need to be prepared to be in your safe spot within the next 3 or 4 minutes. This whole area where those reds and greens and blues are coming together, that is where our rotation is. And that is a pretty big area of rotation. So that would probably be a large tornado if it were to drop. I'm looking at it on my phone right now. It actually does appear that we may have had a CC drop. So this was potentially on the ground and caused some damage. It stayed radar indicated, but there was the potential, or there is the potential, that this tornado was on the ground. So remain in your safe spot. We could have a tornado on the ground with this storm. Nonetheless, we definitely have very strong rotation. Does look like it is broadening out a bit, so hopefully that continues to be the case and this storm weakens, because as much as we love tornadoes around here, don't like to see them hit areas of any population, especially of significant population. We've been giving that storm a lot of attention, so let's go back to where we started this stream, down here near Memphis, Texas. Looks like these storms are now warned for up to 1.75-inch golf ball sized hail. So now, north of Memphis, we've got some pretty large hail. Near Lakeview, Texas, about 1.25-inch hail. Headley, same thing. And then to the north up there, we have potentially up to golf ball sized hail. So seek shelter away from windows if you are north, northwest, or due west of Memphis, Texas. We've got 1 to 1.75-inch hail. We've also got severe thunderstorm warnings with half-dollar sized hail and quarter-sized hail for Elk City, Sayre, Oklahoma. So you guys seek shelter away from windows. And then southeast actually of Arnett, west of Leedy, Oklahoma, this storm with winds less than 50 miles an hour and quarter-sized hail. So pretty baseline severe. And wow, look at that. I guess we haven't been looking at reflectivity with this storm, but that did kind of just materialize. Look at that hook. That is beautiful. That is a pretty classic hook. Yeah, major hook. I thought I had missed that because we had been on velocity, but no, look at that. That just materialized over the last 2 scans. That is awesome. Once again, we are continuing to keep an eye on this storm. This rotation is just east-southeast of Cheyenne Valley, Oklahoma, west-southwest of Orienta, Oklahoma, Orienta. And it does look like it wants to drop a tornado. Once again, any questions for your location, feel free to drop it in chat. Main focus right now is this area. And we have a new tornado warning. That tornado warning has been condensed. It has been updated from 1.25, so half-dollar size hail, up to golf ball size. And that rotation is intensifying again, it appears. And that is still a radar indicated tornado. So if you look at this, for Cleo Springs and Orienta, golf ball sized hail. A tornado warning remains in effect until 8:45 p.m. Central Standard Time for southeastern Woods and central major counties. At 8:32 p.m. Central Standard Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 6 miles northwest of Fairview, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. People near and west of Orienta should take cover now. Hazard: tornado and golf ball sized hail. That is radar indicated rotation. Take cover now. Move to a storm shelter, safe room. If you do not have a storm shelter, basement, or safe room, then get to the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, most interior part, to put as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. Once again, that tornado warning updated a minute ago at 8:32 p.m. Central Standard Time. They did not extend the time, though, so it's still only in effect until 8:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, so another 12 minutes. But if it continues like this, we will most definitely see the reissuance of that tornado warning. We've been live for 46 minutes. It really does not feel like it. A big part of that is because you guys have been chatting along in the chat. Yeah, I'm seeing multiple reports claiming that we had a tornado on the ground with this earlier. So that does appear to be the case. Beautiful hook, though. Absolutely beautiful. Just absolutely incredible. Once again, that is southwest of Cleo Springs, Oklahoma. Guys, just look at this hook. It continues to materialize. Classic hook. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So once again, Orienta, Oklahoma, Cleo Springs, east of Cheyenne Valley. Seek shelter now in the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. Let's take those tornado precautions. Cover your head with your hands, helmet, put shoes on, have a way to receive future warnings, smartphone or weather radio. Power is probably going to go out with this storm. We'll probably continue to keep an eye on this area of rotation, and then soon I will have to end off the live stream to get a few things done this evening. But I would actually go ahead and say that we do have a tornado on the ground. This is likely a large tornado. But whether it be very strong rotation or a large tornado over here near Orienta, Oklahoma, Cleo Springs, you guys need to be in your safe spot now. Run, not walk to your safe spot. Our velocities are kind of glitching out. Part of this could be just because of how close we are to radar, but this is likely a strong tornado in progress. It does appear that potentially we had one lift earlier and then come back down. That is possible. Let's see what this says. You believe it's spotter confirmed. Okay. So there's Fairview. Yeah, it looks like that was a funnel cloud south of there and a rotating wall cloud. I don't see that spotter confirmed quite yet, but thank you for sharing that, Lisa. Wow. Just look at that, guys. Once again, a strong tornado likely in progress. Our velocities are glitching. Part of that may be just because of how close we are to the radar. Looks like Mr. Storm is live. Maybe we'll raid him. No, you can keep it. You are all good. I appreciate that link, because then people can refresh that and they'll see the new reports as well. So you can resend it if you like to. I think what's happening is the polygons refresh every new radar scan, even if a new polygon hasn't been issued. Once again, this is our only tornado warning, and it is in effect for portions of southeastern woods and central major counties for another 6 minutes, and they're definitely going to reissue this. We have been live for 52 minutes. We'll go for at least an hour before we have to end things off. So once again, get those questions in the live chat. If you're in Orienta, Oklahoma, or east of Cheyenne Valley by about between 5 and 8 miles, you need to be in your safe spot. Once again, this is in Oklahoma. And then Cleo Springs, especially west and north of Cleo Springs, you guys need to run, not walk to your safe spot. This is likely a strong tornado or very strong rotation. If it is a tornado, it's going to be a strong one on the ground. Just based off of what we've had with reflectivity the past 5 or 6 scans now, that is a pretty concerning hook echo right in here, southwest of Orienta. So it wouldn't shock me if this is on the ground. I think it was on the ground earlier, and we missed that. I did note the strong rotation, so that's my bad. It was kind of hard to tell based off correlation coefficient with that. And there's our new tornado warning. So you guys, if you were watching the stream in these areas, had plenty of warning ahead. I talked about how Align, Helena, and Goltree would likely have a tornado warning after, and there you go. There it is. So continue to seek shelter in Cleo Springs, Orienta, or directly east of Cheyenne Valley. So once again, that new tornado warning is in effect for another 49 minutes. Our old one expires in about 3.5 minutes. This one, 1.5-inch hail radar indicated rotation for Helena, Cleo Springs, Goltree, Align, and Orienta. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. So this is from the National Weather Service in Norman, Oklahoma. Tornado warning for southeastern Alfalfa County in northwestern Oklahoma, northeastern Major County. So Woods County, in about 3.5 minutes, you guys will no longer be in any tornado warnings. This is through 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 8:40 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is just over 2 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Orienta, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Nope. Looks like it reloaded. Give it just a second here. Wow, look at that hook. Once again, there it is. Okay. Where were we? Locations impacts include Helena, not sure. Cleo Springs, Goltree, Align, and Orienta. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. So severe thunderstorm capable of reducing a tornado was located near Orienta. moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. And just look at that rotation. We're breaking velocities with those blues, pinks, and purples. Wow. Once again, Cleo Springs, you guys need to be in your safe spot. This rotation and then possible strong tornadoes on top of Orienta as we speak. I think I did something to the mic for a second. We should be back though. Yeah, we're good. Look at that rotation, continuing to strengthen. We're breaking velocities right now. So I believe we have a strong tornado on the ground going into Cleo Springs, Oklahoma. Cleo Springs, you've got less than a minute. Run, not walk to your safe spot. This is going right for West Cleo. It's going to go downtown, straight towards the airport on the western side of town. Looks like the PA storm trackers are back in Sayre, Oklahoma. So keeping an eye on them. Not quite sure who we've got on this tornado warning, though. I don't know if we have any chasers over there right now. Let's see. Turn our storm chasers feature on. Very useful. Yeah, it looks like no chasers up there. So Freddy is out. He's just not live streaming on YouTube. He's on Omega, though. That's interesting. PA storm trackers are north of Sayre. Looks like they're the northernmost. And then the rest of the crowd's down here. Papa John, south of Eric. Connor Croft over there, south of Papa John. Ryan Scholl. Edgar O'Neill. Storm Runner Media, Vince Walty. Tornado Pagey, and Bryce Shelton. They're all out there. I actually got my Edgar shirt on today, so shout out to him for giving that to me at Summit. But yeah, this is a tornado on the ground, likely a strong tornado on the ground. So in Cleo Springs, Oklahoma, you guys need to be in your safe spot for the next 10 minutes at least. You're going to find debris all over. Once again, you guys need to be in your safe spot. The time has come. It is pretty much too late now. You've had that advanced warning. So that rotation, that tornado is on top of Cleo Springs now. So cannot urge that to you guys enough. You need to be in your safe spot right now. Yeah, look at that. On top of Cleo Springs now. We're breaking velocities. So once again, Cleo Springs, Oklahoma, you guys need to be in your safe spot. This is still a radar indicated tornado, but I would not be surprised if we had a touchdown some point. We're going to do one last overview of everything we've got going on, and then unfortunately, I think I will have to end off the live stream. So once again, our tornado on the ground or strong rotation near Cleo Springs, Oklahoma. Helena, Align, west of Goldtree, you guys have got to be ready to seek shelter. And then other than that, we just have severe thunderstorm warnings. So north of Memphis, Texas, near Wellington, Shamrock, Eric, and then in Oklahoma, Sayre, Elk City. All you guys have got some damaging large hail and damaging winds. So secure loose objects and seek shelter inside a sturdy structure. But our main concern continues to be that Cleo Springs storm. So continue to seek shelter in Cleo Springs, Oklahoma. We have an enhanced risk tomorrow, so should be live for that if needed in the evening. And look at that. Continuing to intensify on that rotation. So I believe we have a tornado on the ground in West Cleo, Oklahoma. You guys need to be in your safe spot right now. This is an extremely dangerous situation. This is the storm of the day by far, so far. Looks like that is a very large, huge wedge tornado. In West Cleo and Cleo Springs, Oklahoma. But with that being said, let me see this. Hang on, I don't know why this isn't working. I gotta do this before we end the stream. Customization. There we go. Okay. That should work. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of this live stream. Once again, huge shout out to Lisa and Alan with the donations. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.